up, YouTubers? I'm gonna install the Baja light that I received from Prior Performance. Nicely packed kit. Here's the light, wiring harness, mounting bracket. Okay, real quick on taking the fairing off. It's really simple. A couple Allen bolts you got to take out. You got to first take your covers off and your insert out of here, speaker covers, and then pop this bezel out. Okay, and to do that, I just use this tool right here, just a little tool that I used to install radios with. So you take those off, take that bolt out, take this bolt out, and then there's a bolt underneath here. Let's see, right here. Take that one out. So you take those three out on both sides, then you come to the front, and there's a bolt that goes in here, there's a bolt that goes in here, and then there's a bolt that goes right here. So I already took those out. All right, so what I'm gonna do, so you guys can see how simple. So after you get all those bolts out, this is pretty much all you have to do. You unhook your connections to your lights. After all the bolts are out, you just pull on it and come straight out with it, guys. That's it. All in one. So I'm gonna set this down. So you unhook this, and your harness for your light. That's all you got to do. That's going to give you access to everything you need to get access to. All right, so I got the fairing on the stand. You can see the where the light's attached to a bracket. Looks like we got two 10mm bolts. Oh yeah, guys, something else you need to watch out for. These grommets right here, I lost one a couple years ago. And just make sure you watch out for those when you pull your fairing off that first time. There you go. Pop that up. So this is my first time doing this. So I'm looking on how the bracket fits in here. And you can see the holes in the little set pin there. So it looks like it mounts up perfectly, just like it should. So what we got to do here is we got to go ahead and mount the light. Okay, and then you see where you have the plug that goes behind it. So we'll do that, and once I get the light mounted to the bracket, we'll go ahead and install that on the bike, and I think I have to make another modification. Okay, what I did, I took all the hardware out. So these are all the nuts, bolts, and washers that came with it. So we'll figure out what goes where and what's what. And I do have some blue Loctite with me. So you know how these kits come, man. You just kind of have to figure it out. So that's how we'll fit that in there. Fit. Just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Got one adjustment. So they do have some Loctite already on there, so that's a good thing. Put that right? So that kind of adjusts back and forth. And as you can see right here, you have an adjustment. You can go up and down with it. So we'll go ahead and set this light in. Let's put some Loctite on this thing. Put the bolts. These screws are 10 millimeter here. You're gonna have to kind of lift up on the fairing a little bit so it'll seat down in place. So that's in there. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Flip it over so I can look at it a little bit. All right, so we're gonna cut this template out, and you get this in the kit. Take off the rubber cover, and then the template fits right in here. Okay, so what I did, I just traced it out with a marker, but the way this is made is actually a sticker, and you can put this, place the sticker here and just stick it on there and then cut it out, but I decided not to do that. So if you're not comfortable with using a roto zip tool, or I got a Porter cable tool, and basically it's going to cut into this thing. So just to give you an example, so just to show you, it cuts right into it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just cut this lip off first and then proceed with cutting this out. So I just cut the lip off first. It's a little awkward because it's at an angle, but that's good enough. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slice here and here. I'm gonna go inside my line. Change this blade up. There we go. I got this little section in here to do. This is where you don't cut. You do not cut past that perforated line. So right here, I continue to cut when I shouldn't have. I did hit up Rad, who designed that template, and he did identify in the instructions that it shouldn't be cut. So I just recommend putting a perforated line on the template moving forward. But
so since I got everything,
we still got
out,
there.
The
I'll probably replace that bezel later.
I just want to square this up
things happen. You live and learn.
Here.
Luckily,
so
it wasn't that expensive of a mistake.
Fine file.
So right here, I'm just going to be cleaning things up with a file.
There we go.
Okay, so I got everything cleaned up, and I put the sheath back around the bezel. So I guess now we just need to trim this out because it'll need clearance where the light is. So marker.
right. So here we go. Put all this back on. Okay. See how that fits there? That wasn't too bad. So what we'll do is get the fairing, put it on the table. Let's see what we got this time.
This part was a little frustrating, but you got to take your time, kind of move it up and down and kind of fit your bezel in there. Just be patient. You may have to trim a little bit off the edges at the top, and you'll see me do that in a minute.
I'm looking at this, but I'm really not liking how it's seated in there. Let me put this down. So that seems like it's kind of high, and it needs to be forward some more. Because sitting on a bike, I'm not sure about this space either. So let me get the phone off of the stand so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So the template cut out that gap there, but I'm not sure why it is the way it is, but
It's jacked up. Don't do it. Do not cut that out.
and in order to adjust it forward, you probably have to cut this out a little bit more. I'm gonna research this a little bit and get back with you guys. All right, so we're gonna go back on with it. I made sure I put something over my fender so it won't scratch it up. After you make sure your bezel's good to go ahead and take it off, because when you mount the headlamp and everything back in, you're gonna have to screw everything in. So you're gonna need access to your mounting bolts. All right, so I got everything set up here. I put the plug in here. So here's the wiring harness, and that goes to the battery. You cannot access the fairing bolt. Take a look at something. So based on access to these bolts, when you put your fairing back on, you're only gonna have these two that's gonna hold your fairing up. Of course, you got the 3 on the left side and the 3 on the right side, where your bolts go. So you got 1, 2, and then 3. And then you have these 2 mounting bolts here. So, all right, so we'll go ahead and put these fasteners in here. So because of the light, you can't get to the upper one. And the upper one was in the old light housing. You guys want to see this? So we'll use this one and this one. That one you will no longer need. All right, so we just snug these in. Take it loose just a little bit so we can get the other fasteners in there. So I'm not gonna videotape me putting the rest of the screws in, the mounting screws. And when it's time to put the bezel back in, I'll record that. All right, so I got everything wired in, got everything connected. I took the wiring harness up over the fork, triple tree here. And then I got everything tied in here. So it's real tight because I have my stereo, my amp hooked up. So you got to get it in the way the best you can. Just got to be creative. So I'm gonna clean up the wiring, just kind of run it up and down somewhere in here, and take the excess and see if I can bundle it somewhere. So, you know, when it comes to the wiring, I mean, you got to do what's best for your bike and how you like it to look. So I'm gonna finish that up, then we'll test the light. All right, so we got all the wiring hooked up, but I don't have it cleaned up yet, so we're working on that. But I had enough for today. Go ahead and crank this thing up. And a lot of you wanted to hear what the tab performance, bam sticks, delete, cat delete sounds like, so we'll let you hear that. That is right. Well, here we go. So as far as the wiring, I got everything tucked in. neatly, snug, and I have a zip tie on it. Up around the triple tree, that lower triple tree, then I got it zip tied up in here. You can't hardly see it. There we go. And I got it running down behind this cover. And I got it wound in the battery box. So everything fits snug. So you can see from this side, a couple things going on there. Just kind of hook it with a zip tie on that cable, and it should be fine. And that's where it's running down. So it's pretty clean. Can't see anything from here. Everything looks clean there. So outside of this mistake here, I'll get another bezel for that. I appreciate you tuning in. If you want anything done on the Indian Challenger or any other bike, I'll have my shop open, I'd say within the next couple months, appointment only. I'm located in North Carolina, Winston-Salem. So just hit me up, shoot me a message, and be safe riding. I'm out.